It's intermission time. It's great to get out to the movies.
Today we have Jordan Murphy Doidge. Am I saying that correctly?
You are.
Okay.
Which is rare.
And and we have Archie Yates. So welcome to Intermission.
Thanks for having us.
Could you both introduce who you are, what you do?
Hello, I am Archie Yates. I am a 16-year-old actor.
Nice. Follow that format. My name is Jordan Murphy Doidge. I'm a 36-year-old director.
This is a question we ask every guest who comes on the show. But if there was a movie besides your own that kind of described where you are in life right now, it could be it doesn't have to be so literal. It could be the plot. It could be a character. What would you pick?
It's gonna sound weird without me explaining it through thoroughly, but Wolf of Wall Street, not in the literal sense where I'm doing drugs and doing all of this, but in the first bit of the movie where he's becoming really, really powerful and life is just getting greater.
Okay, well, I love that.
Yeah, everything just seems to be going really, really well for me and Jordan right now. So,
Jordan, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that it's it feels like we're kind of in the eye of the storm a bit. It feels like it's busy. Being at this stage in the project when you're trying to promote it and it's all coming out and you're starting to finally share it with audiences, that's such a fulfilling moment. It's really exciting. But then making films is hard enough, but then distributing and promoting films is just as hard. And so for myself, it's I hate to use the term campaigning. I think it's a really naff thing to say about a film, because I feel like filmmaking shouldn't be about campaigning a film. But sadly, that's a big part of this industry. It's you want to create stories and celebrate, explore craft, but you have to get as many people and bums on seats as you possibly can. So we're very much in that moment with the film.
We'll get into Clout in a bit, but we're going to move into our kind of general getting to know you through your film taste section, which I think will be cool coming from a director and then an actor's perspective. Is there a certain moment or a childhood film, a filmmaker that kind of sparked your love for cinema, for filmmaking, or something that made you want to get into either acting or filmmaking?
For me, definitely. Very early on, cinema's been a big part of my family growing up. The whole family love it, and it's like church for us. We truly love the experience of watching movies and the escapism that comes with it. And so very early on, my parents were sharing films with us and taking us to cinema very early on. Goonies is something that's stuck with me forever. I think I've watched that film more than any other film ever.
I remember watching that with my family too.
Yeah. Quoting it all the time, running around with my little brother, absolutely just hey, you guys. But Goonies was really special. But I think for me, the filmmaking side of it, so my dad would always take my brother and I to the cinema, probably because he didn't know what to do with us. So he was just cinema was an easy way to look after kids. But we would go to cinema and we loved that. And we would always do this thing where we'd sneak into another film. So we'd go and watch one of the blockbuster films that's out at the moment. And then on the way out, we'd kind of just make a game out of it. Yeah. But I'd go in and probably watch films that I should not be watching at that age. I remember walking on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not good for a 12-year-old. But that experiencing things that you kind of shouldn't really be seeing when you're that young, it kind of sparks this hyper curiosity for it. And so the kind of doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. And I just feel that making such fun with film and seeing those films very early on just kind of sparked this real obsession throughout my whole life. And my dad was great. Well, I remember we all remember blockbusters, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P. But we would on a Friday, we'd go to Blockbusters again. We'd pick 3 movies because that's what we were going to do over the weekend. It was just probably watch a bunch of films, and he'd choose one, the main one that's the blockbuster that's out, and then we'd always get a foreign language or an anime. So
cool.
I've been watching those from such a young age.
That's really cool.
Which really like gives you a real palette for like storytelling from different cultures. And so I think that really informs like loads of, I wouldn't just say my work, like that, I think I'd be pretentious to say that, but like it really informs my like taste. And like, you know, watching Ghost in a Shell, like when it first came out, like, and I would have been very young at the time. Like, I was like, oh, fuck me, that's a cool film. Like, and then like The Matrix that comes after it. And then I start seeing like connecting dots of like how filmmakers were inspired by certain like, you know, Perfect Blue, I think it's called, is another.
I just watched that for the first time actually.
And it's like
amazing.
Requiem for a Dream, Aronofsky. There's like even like similar scenes that you can see that they directly correlate with. Like Paprika's another film with Inception, the Christopher Nolan film. Like when it's like we're going through the corridor and they're kind of like flowing through landscapes. So like anime is like so cool, and with animation you can explore so much like world building that's very difficult to do in. I
love that you said that because I feel like we haven't had people bring up much anime on the show before. Oh my God. And that's a really cool...
Anime is like one. I love having anime offs with people. Like, what anime have you seen? And then when they start telling you stuff you haven't seen, I'm like, no way. Like, I've got this huge list. Like there's one at the moment, Obi, actually this is interesting. When we were on set, like that they were telling me about Attack of the Titans.
That's like the one anime I've seen.
Yeah.
So
And if you like a plot twist,
that
like
show's crazy.
The most ultimate plot twists going. But yeah, it's just like really clever storytelling that exists in animation. But then you also get like Studio Ghibli, which I've seen every single one of them 100 times. I feel like. In fact, I was in Austin, Texas just now, and I had time to kill. Most people in Austin would probably go to like a fun bar or something like that. And I saw that there was this art house cinema playing a rerun of Spirited Away. Oh. And I was just like, I'm going to go and get an ice cream.
I love that.
And I'm going to watch Spirited Away on my own. And it was way better than like going out and like, you know, drinking in a random bar. And just doing, so anyway, but probably long-winded answer to you there.
No,
but
that's
like,
okay.
I think there's lots of inspirations going on.
What about you, Archie? Was there like a movie that really stuck with you? Because you've been acting for so long already.
There wasn't really like a specific film or like TV show that inspired me to start acting, because I've always been like quite a creative type. Like I was up until I was 3, I believe, I wanted to be a magician. And then I started moving into acting like pretty quickly. Because I've always wanted to do it and I've always loved it. But I can say there was a specific director who inspired me to start moving into script writing and directing. And that's Robert Eggers.
Love.
I absolutely loved The Lighthouse and The Witch. They're 2 of my most favorite movies of all time. And I just love the way that he captures psychology in his characters. All of his like characters are so well built, and the way that he portrays them and how they like slowly break down over the course of the plot.
I love that.
So much,
I loved Nosferatu last year, obviously.
Still yet to watch that one.
Oh,
I
you have
keep
to.
kicking myself so much.
It's like it's amazing.
He's meticulous as well.
Yeah.
Like, because I think his background was like in production design. So like every detail is like so considered, and like it has to be true to the story's kind of not heritage, but like when it was set, and like even like it's crazy the levels of detail he goes to. And can you imagine being an actor in those environments? Like how you can get lost in the set, which I think as an actor is like so much fun. So
we talked a little bit about like directors you've liked, like Robert Eggers, but I'm curious, is there a movie that you think perfectly sums up your taste or your style?
There's probably, there's a couple directors that I adore. I think Shane Meadows, British director, I love. He manages to capture, his palette of films is very, the range is pretty impressive. Like he's like done some very dark, but then some like beautiful, like humorous kind of moments. He really captures that innocence of youth. There's a film called like something, The Underpants of Romeo Brass, I think it's called. He captures that kind of social commentary like so well in his films, but like creates such a great story in that environment. And like Ken Loach is another filmmaker that does that very well. Even Andrea Arnold, also very good. Someone that I've more recently like been loving the films of is Lynn Ramsey.
I love Lynn Ramsey.
Her kind of just sensibility and taste for storytelling is like exactly the style of film that I like.
I'm very excited for her upcoming film, Die My Love.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, no, so me too. I always kind of like try and like read like forum Reddit, like or like catch like what people are talking about. And someone was telling me that she might write like a vampire film.
I love that vampire movies are like totally making a comeback.
Dude, there's a Korean one called Thirst. Have you seen it?
No, I feel like I've heard of it, but
watch it.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's a really cool film.
I like my top 3 favorite directors that I take a lot of inspiration from. Particularly number 1, Guy Ritchie. I absolutely love English gangster movies. It's like one of my favorite pastimes with my dad when I'm staying around his. We like go through all of Guy Ritchie's like gangster movies and just watch them all together. It's so nice. What I love about Guy Ritchie's movies is the dialogue, because like it's quintessential British banter, and like he really captures like the soul of like Cockney England and that. He does that really, really well. So like chemistry between actors is a big thing for me. That's why I enjoyed filming Clout so much. It's like getting those little like interactions that like are really unique to like those bonds that really like develop and grow out their relationship. I find that really interesting. And if I were a director, that's how I'd like implement that into my work, to like expand on the story a little bit.
Do you have interest in directing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I still would love to do acting as like a side gig, but I want to become a writer director type. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few ideas in the pipeline. Some stuff that I've actually been pitching to
That's
Jordan
awesome.
as of late.
Likes a Western.
I do like a Western.
That's really cool, because I feel like that's one of those genres that has been forgotten, but almost like people aren't really making them.
It seems to be like more TV focused now, isn't it? Like Taylor Sheridan's doing a lot of that kind of like characters in those worlds of Westerns, like 1883. And
Is there a film that surprised you that you didn't expect to like, but you ended up loving it?
It feels like almost trivial to say, but like I went into Mad Max not thinking I was going to enjoy it, and I came out of it like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, that film is like not on paper like kind of the film I would have loved to see. I remember seeing it at cinema with my dad, and I was just like, it just pumped me up.
Yeah,
I was just like it was a ride. Like it was just constant. There's a film called Tell No One, which I watched a few years back. It's a French movie. Funny trivia: I think Michael Caine says it's his favorite movie, but it's such a good film. I mean, there's so many great movies from France. Like, have you seen the Untouchables? Like the guy in the wheelchair.
I've heard of it. I think it's on my list. I haven't seen it.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like so funny. Yeah, there's again like Korean cinema as well, like Old Boy.
Yep.
I Saw the Devil. Have you seen that film? It's pretty messed up, but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Nowhere Man, bit more niche, but also really cool.
My answer, I'll actually tell you a pretty funny story from the flight here to Los Angeles. It was a 10-hour flight from London to Los Angeles, so I was just scrolling through the film selection they had on the flight, trying to find something good to watch. And I came across Bring Her Back.
I just saw that in theaters.
Which is, from judging from the description, it's talking like, oh, if you want to watch a really scary movie, you should watch this one. And I was like, okay, having that as your description, this film is probably going to be really cheesy and a bit poor. And I watched it, and it was aside from like Terrifier,
Yeah.
the most beyond disturbing and traumatizing film I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Have you seen
Seriously.
it, Jordan?
No.
It's like dreadful. I don't know. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but I felt dead inside after.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a really like tragic, bittersweet ending. And I think the thing that does it for me is that the gore is insane, but it's all directed at children.
Yeah.
Which is really like really sick and twisted.
It's the same directors as Talk to Me.
Talk to Me.
Yeah. And I love Talk to Me. It was I didn't realize that until like after watching it.
Yeah, I agree. That movie really like it's not even like you said, it's not even like the scariest movie I've ever seen, but I just felt like I felt like a pit in my stomach after it.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know, as an like observationally, it's interesting that you mentioned that, like, because like my youngest siblings as well, like, and all of their kind of, their friends love horror. Like
it's big right now. It's like a huge comeback.
But it's like I've always just been freaked out by it. Like my family used to put horror films on to watch me watch the horror film because they know I would freak out so much, and like they would always try and like jump scare me and stuff. Like I think I've come to enjoy them more because I like the craft of making them. I find it incredible. But like some of them I just find a bit like that, like when the characters start doing stupid stuff and it's like almost coincidental, and I'm like, no one would do that. You're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But like, whereas like a film like The Babadook, if you've seen that.
I love The Babadook. Yeah.
Because I think it's rooted in such like a great theme.
Yeah.
Of grief. And
I think that's what resonates with horror for people. It's such a good medium to touch on topics like that.
To your point, like, do you think that like, this is not me being condescending in any way, but as someone that's older, like I'm finding younger audiences really resonate with horror. And like, maybe it's because like they're desensitized through the amount of media that they're experiencing, because a lot of people maybe more, I mean, I'm generalizing here, but like, I just feel like that, like there's like mania amongst the younger generation, call it Gen Z, that like just like really love horror. Like my sister will be straight in the cinema watching the next horror, and I'm like, you're crazy.
I think there is something to that.
But
like,
people like getting like a scary film, but I don't know. That's just kind of like an observation that I seem to have.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of that community, and I love horror. It's one of my favorite genres.
Would you say all your pals are the same?
Yeah. Most of them, I have this one friend from college, Maya, and I'm going to expose her here. We were watching, because we go to the same college, and we do the same film and TV course. We were watching, I think it was a clip of It, where he's like all like, where Pennywise, he's like all like inside this closet. And then he like starts unfolding himself and like coming to attack the kid with a broken arm. I can't exactly remember the plot of it, but like Maya was just like sitting in the corner, just like literally like almost like screaming and shrieking in terror. And like we were all looking at her funny because we were all like, okay, it's not that scary. That is probably like, you're right, because we're all so desensitized to it. That's probably why we find it so popular.
Have you ever heard of a film called Martyrs?
No.
Wow.
Is that a horror movie?
Try watch that film. Dare you to watch that film.
Okay.
Double dare. Like, I would actually love you to watch that and us to like...
To talk about it? Okay, I will. Yeah. Okay.
It is so messed up.
I'm gonna go home after this
Martyrs,
and watch it like in bed.
Honestly.
Yeah.
In bed.
No.
Nutters.
One of my friends is like, she literally will like put on a horror movie to go to sleep, and I'm like, you're psychotic.
My bro would come home from school early and like turn all the lights off and put The Ring on. I mean,
oh my God,
school,
yeah.
But like, that's torture to me.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Literally. On your own as well. So there's no one to be safe with.
On your own is brave.
Yeah.
I think this is a good segue to talk about Clout. Clout is a short film that follows the rebellious boarding school teen Oscar who craves online fame. which leads him on a dangerous path with tragic consequences. Would you agree with that description?
Definitely.
Okay.
That is that I don't think you could have put that better.
Okay, well, I took it from your IMDb. So,
okay, fine.
this is more of a comment, but I just wanted to say it's only 16 minutes, but I felt like when I was watching it, I really felt the world, and I really felt like I knew each character, which is so hard to do in short filmmaking, especially because you're so, you're so limited to the time, and you have to kind of get into it right away. But it felt very full to me, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to say that.
Putting that kind of work into the world building was like so important to us. When you capture a great world, it helps. It becomes part of the story. It's like a character in the story, and so that backdrop was really important in this film. But being able to like really flesh out the characters and give each of the characters like a voice, like rather than like characters being in there just to serve as plot. I think that's something that we really didn't want to do when we were writing the script. We wanted it to like really feel like authentic for what young people are like going through. Like we did a lot of workshopping as well to like get the kind of dialogue right. You know? I don't say the word like cooked. So like I think like Tom and I, when we were like making some edits to the script, like we were putting words in there, and then when the boys read it, they were like, no one says that. And we thought we were being like young and hip by like writing the dialogue like that, but they're like nah. Like, and then it's like, you know, peak and all that kind of stuff. So it was great to like, you know, put the work in to like develop the characters. But like, again, it was very collaborative. I think that it's, you know, especially young performers and young actors coming into projects. It's like two of them have acted before, Sam and Archie, but two hadn't really acted before. And sometimes like when you put that kind of raw talent in with some more experience, kind of like created a really nice dynamic amongst the boys. Like I do think there's something really special about performances that like have no preconceptions of like acting and what it is. It's like
for sure.
A great example is I think Owen, that's it, the boy from Adolescence recently. Like he gave an incredible performance. Same with the young lad from This Is England. But like so like it's great to have opportunities in there for like people that might not have acted before. But yeah, I mean a lot of work went into like trying to flesh it out into like a kind of a bigger world.
I'm wondering what made you want to tell this story, because it's obviously a very like timely and relevant subject.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of things involved in like the kind of development of it, or the early kind of origins and ideation of it. It was during lockdown, and so a lot of people during lockdown were stuck at home, and they were like just probably consuming a lot of content, watching a lot of films, and so. And like watching the kind of like, because you had so much time, it's just like, oh my God, let's kick back and like watch the golden age of like films for like growing up. So we watched like loads of coming of age, like Stand By Me and The Goonies. We just were watching a lot of films, and then we just started chatting about, we should write a film. And so like, and then I was realizing at the time, being the eldest of 5 siblings, that like social media was kind of like this vortex of their personalities. Like it's especially when you love people and you see like the effects it's having on them, and like it's really like pulling them out of like reality. We've started thinking of like with any story, if you can like build it into a fable, it's quite a good thing, because everyone's aware of a fable and they know a fable, and so even subconsciously it kind of can resonate with you more. And so we thought that Boy Who Cried Wolf was like a great...
I was going to say, I felt that like it was a modern retelling almost of The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Exactly, and that was completely our intentions from the beginning. I mean, early version of the script, we even had the Peter and the Wolf soundtrack like to finish it. But it was so off tone for the film. Yet it just didn't work. But yeah, it was the whole intention from the very beginning was to like tell a modern telling of Boy Who Cries Wolf. So like at the end when... I mean, there's spoilers here. Yeah. But like, you know, the climax of the film, when you actually see that, you know, he was telling the truth.
He was,
the whole
yeah.
time. You know, that is that kind of the reveal of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and then during the credits, there's a wolf howl that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it was trying to create this kind of social commentary around social media and the negative like effects it's having on people, and trying to tell that in a story. I think I like a great cinema to me is when you can like, it's like a Trojan horse. Like if you can put like some kind of like themes that are kind of going to provoke people to like really think about like their own lives and their own relationship with for in our case social media, but then make it entertaining at the same time. Like I think that's kind of a good cause for filmmaking. And
Archie, what was it like for you playing a character like this? Because obviously, like I can imagine it's you feel the themes yourself, like it affects your day-to-day life.
Yeah, getting to play Oscar was an honor, first of all, because I feel really like grateful to be able to convey the important, like you said, relevant, but very neglected conversations about social media and the impact it's having on adolescents' mental health. I feel really great that we get to be able to like exemplify, I don't even know if that's a word, like highlight the importance of that sort of conversation, because no one's having those conversations, and it's important that we do have those conversations so that we can resolve the teenage mental health crisis.
Do you feel like it was like introspective for you, or made you think about maybe your own relationship with social media?
Yeah, 100%. I've never really had a strong connection with social media. However, particularly during my early career with social media, when it was me and mum, and my mum totally managed the account, we were advised to like showcase ourselves on social media, like a lot. And that was overwhelming to deal with.
Especially as a kid.
Yeah, especially as a kid, but particularly more overwhelming for my mum, considering that she had to manage my account on top of working a full-time job is a very, very heavy workload. So it got to a point where we both got so tired of it, we ended up just taking like a full year gap just to just like recuperate. And then now that I've taken over, and now that I've filmed Clout, I've like managed to find a nice like equilibrium with social media, where I'm just going to be posting stuff about my work and what I'm doing and ideas that I have. I might develop into scripts, my own work, stuff like that is the only thing that I'm going to be promoting on my social media. And I'm going to stay away from like posting more personal things, not because like I'm like being antisocial, simply because I don't feel the need to like showcase that for people.
Well, I think that's really great that you already kind of realize that and feel that way. But Jordan, for you, I'm curious what your relationship with social media has been like, and if it was introspective for you as well.
Definitely. I mean, I'd be lying to say that like I don't have a problem with it. I think every single person has some kind of like negative relationship with it, because it's impossible not to. It's the way that the algorithms have been programmed to just like, it's a very addictive thing. So it's very, the irony is not lost on me, because like, I'm still using it and I probably spend time on it every day. So like, but I'm just like, I'm far more aware of it. And so by being more aware and self-aware of like my relationship with it, I think that it makes me use it a bit more intentional. That's not to say there's like late nights when I'm like doom scrolling and then all of a sudden like you go like that, and it's literally like you shake it off and you're like, oh my, like what have I been doing? Like just looking at just like what you call it, brain rot, right? Brain rot, and like, but some of it's great brain rot, because it learns about you, and it's like sometimes I'm just like one more, because they're just so good, like, which is, it's a crazy thing. But then there are things that will really inspire me sometimes. Like, I follow a lot of accounts, yours in particular, like that, because we're all, not we are all, but like as like they call it a cinephile or someone that loves filmmaking and loves movies and stories, you can get inspiration through social media as well. So there's a real balance with how you
I fully agree.
manage it, especially like for my work. Like
I was gonna say it's hard sometimes because I feel like my struggle with it right now where I am is that I want to not be on it, but then it's like a way that I can connect with my friends. Like we'll share TikToks with each other, like stupid things like that. Just even the act of like sending a TikTok to like your friend that you think is funny is like, that is like part of your relationship. And then also just for work, it's hard because it's not like I can't like fully not be on social media either, because it's also important. Like we are at the point in our like how our society is you do have to use it for your social, like you have to use social media for your work. So it's hard to have a balanced relationship sometimes, because there's moments where I'm like, I just want to not be on it at all. But I also don't feel like I could do that because I don't feel like we live in a society that kind of allows you to do that anymore.
It's true.
It's interesting.
I mean, if you really do disconnect yourself, like it is, once you do it for more than like 2 days, you start like, you start experiencing the world differently. Like I did it recently. I went on a holiday to Peru for like 2.5, 3 weeks and just kind of like avoided social media for a good whole week of it. And you could, like, when you're around people that aren't using it either, like all of a sudden, like community amongst you and communication becomes far richer because you're way more present.
Yep.
And like with that presence, you're communicating more like with like more vulnerability. And I feel like that brings people, like it bonds them closer together. So I think that's something that, we should try and do more of, just get outside in some nature.
Clout is obviously a modern retelling of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, but were there any films or filmmakers that kind of like or movies you watched while making this that inspired you? Was it 8th Grade you mentioned? Is that one? Yeah.
8th Grade was definitely one. Like Stand By Me is also definitely one, that kind of coming of age tale. I mean, it's like even though the plot's kind of similar, like in Stand By Me, it's, 4 boys are kind of outsiders as well. And, they're desperately seeking to be like cool. And so like one of the boys overhears his older brother saying there's a dead body in the woods. And they go on this big, coming of age journey to find this dead body. And, they go through the experiences that they go through on that journey, but they do it all just to get their picture in the local paper.
Wow.
And so ours is like a modern version of that is to go viral. I guess that's the kind of similar thing, right? To chasing clout, and hence the name Clout.
It's a really good name.
Yeah. We were happy with the name. I think it makes great merch.
Yeah. I'm going to end this segment with, if Clout could start one conversation between people, what would that conversation be?
I think that's a really nice way to kind of round up this conversation, because it's the intention of the whole film is to really empower young people to really start speaking about the relationship and the negative impact social media is having on their lives. A lot of the narrative is being driven by like parents or teachers, politicians, but there's very little kind of platform for young people to speak about it. And so like one thing that happened after one of the premiere screenings that we did, a mother came with her 2 daughters, and she sent us an email the following day saying, I just wanted to send you an email to thank you for this experience, because my daughters and I had a conversation about social media that has been the elephant in the room for a long time, and I desperately wanted to have this conversation with them, but it's just been very hard to. And coming to your film, the screening of your film, but also the Q&A format at the end, allowed one of my daughters to ask a question, and then we went home, and that conversation followed us home, and it's kind of, she said, it's like brought them closer together. And so I think that's the entire purpose of this film.
Definitely.
100%. I mean, I 100% agree with all of that. The ultimate conversation of Clout is like, how can we figure out how to use social media in a healthy and responsible way that isn't detrimental to in like emphasis the mental health of like adolescents, but to people like across the entire spectrum. It applies to everyone, not just people my age. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Clout. Everyone has something to take away from it, and it's really, really good at starting up those conversations that need to be had because no one's talking about it.
I feel like it applies to everybody, not just young people too. That's like the great thing. So congratulations on it.
Thank you very much.
And then to wrap up this episode, I'm going to play a quick game. It's called This or That. So I'm going to just throw like 2 different prompts and you just go with your gut basically. And you both can answer. So I think I know your answer to this one already, but horror or comedy?
Comedy.
All right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Slow burn drama or fast paced thriller?
Slow burn drama.
Oh, that's a tough one. I might have to go slow burn as well.
Okay.
Or slow burn thriller.
Dialogue driven or visually driven stories?
Probably going to go visual, you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with dialogue.
Oscar winning movies or cult classic?
Cult classic.
Yeah. And that can apply to like what you watch or what you'd want your film to fall under.
If it's what we want our film to fall under, I'd say Oscar winner, yeah.
Physical media or streaming?
Physical.
I'd say streaming.
Plan everything or improvise on set?
Plan everything to improvise on set.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I'm gonna say improvise on set. I don't really learn my lines when I'm like acting. Well, I do. I read through them, obviously. I'm not like totally irresponsible. Yeah. But like I improvise it a lot and like communicate a lot with the director to see what they want. That's usually how I go about it.
Yeah, I think that's like the best. That's how the best acting comes.
Because you want it to be natural.
Yeah, for sure. Write with music or in silence?
I think you catch more rhythm when you're in silence, but it's hard to get started. And like the music helps you get started. Music whilst reading, funnily enough, zones me into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got this thing. There's this loop on YouTube of Blade Runner sound like track. And I listen to that often in the bath reading.
That's awesome.
It sends you to like, because it just like, it kind of almost like, you know, sends you to another realm. Often, and you like kind of, you're really in it.
For you, Archie?
I'm going to have to say with listening to music, like 2 rules. It's got to have no lyrics in it.
I fully agree.
And it's got to match the vibe of what I'm writing.
Yeah. Lyrics are so distracting.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like total mental fog. You can't hear yourself over the lyrics. So. Yeah,
one thing that I discovered whilst making Clout is I started going for runs whilst listening to movie score music, like composed music.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And like, it is unreal. Like when you could, like if you go on Spotify and do like find a piece of composed music that you like from a film and put radio and just go for a run and you don't know what's coming. This one song
so
came
motivating,
on.
probably.
You start feeling like you're actually like fly running.
Yeah.
like you're also you're like lifting up. And there was like one track that came on whilst I was on a run with my dog, which was we ended up using as the temp music for this whole edit.
Oh, cool.
Because it was so like listening to it, I was just like, that's the song. And then the composer said to me, he's like, you made it really hard for us because you gave us a piece of music that you liked so much for this. It was hard for us to like beat that.
Right.
But I guess it inspired the final piece of music that they composed.
And then the last one is big budget or creative freedom.
Isn't a big budget creative freedom?
Yeah, but sometimes you're tied to the studio when you have the budget. Yeah,
I mean, I would choose, I think limitations are great in filmmaking because they force you to be more creative. So like I would always say like creativity versus big budget. For sure.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate struggle in filmmaking is the financing or the freedom. Well, that's all I have. So just to conclude this episode, could you tell the listener where they can watch Clout or how to follow it, where to find you, plug your socials, all of that?
Yeah, I mean, Clout short film is our Instagram handle. It's not available to stream online yet. We'll definitely get there. But at the moment, we've got a theatrical release in the UK that starts in November with a partner called Everyman. So they're Q&A tours across the country, which definitely check out if you can. We've actually got a really cool screening on the 19th of November at the Roxy in New York, which is a public screening. So please come on down if you're based in New York.
Please.
And Archie, where can people keep up with you?
My Instagram handle is Archie Yates Official, no spaces, no caps. I'm verified, so I should come up quickly. Go follow me, please. And always do with more followers.
It's so funny, like, doing that after talking about Clout.
The ultimate irony.
Yeah. Well, I had so much fun talking to you. I'm glad we were able to make this episode happen. And I'm excited to see what happens with Clout.
Yeah, honestly, truly, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Really good time.
Good evening.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. To stay in touch, follow our Instagram page at It's Intermission Time and share with your friends. As always, Intermission is produced by Jazeel Chu and Olivia Dean, and of course, hosted by yours truly, Megan Braun. This episode is brought to you by The Synagogue.